put on a dress and makeup and actual shoes for the first time in a while because I had to film an audition that is due by Sunday, which is 2 days from now. It is an audition that I've had a long time to film, and I just kept putting it off and putting it off because I don't feel good. I wanted to wait for a day where I could carve out, a couple hours of time so that I could make sure I could get my setup right and I could get the audio right, because this is a COVID audition, so I had to sing a section of a song, but I needed accompaniment, so one of my amazing friends recorded a accompaniment track for me, but I have to figure out how to set that up so that I can play at the right time and I can hear it so that I can sing along with it, and so that I'm not overpowering it and making sure that the camera can pick it up on my phone, and so making sure I'm doing all of this within a certain time limit, because I've got a certain time limit as well. It's just a lot. And I have been wanting to talk about how chronic pain affects different areas of my life. It affects people who live with chronic pain differently, of course, but for my particular experience, my pain is one of the things that keeps me from being able to do the things that I want to do so often. So, this is a quick glimpse into pain and performance. I am an actor, and my chronic pain journey, along with my performance journey, has been a lot. My partner So just now, my partner was helping me with the filming of this audition. It was his job to press the the play button on the music and to make sure that my timing was good. So he was letting me know, holding up a finger, two fingers kind of thing, to let me know where I was in my timing. And this is after I spent about an hour and a half trying to get the setup right and trying to make sure that the volume was correct and trying to make sure that the lighting was okay. Because this room, which is my office, is still a mess. You can see the mess that I created behind me by just trying to move stuff out of the way to clear a section of the room so that it could be a blank background for filming. And I had already worked on the timing and I had already worked on the sound and had run through my monologue and my song several times before I brought him in to actually help with the filming. And we filmed one take and okay, seems alright, seems kind of good, let's do another one just to be sure. We do a second take, feels fairly solid, but I felt like my monologue wasn't as vibrant as I wanted it to be, and because that is about 2/3 of my package, I want to make sure that it's really good. I bill myself as an actor who also happens to sing well rather than the other way around. So for me, the acting is the meat of what I'm presenting, and I want to make sure that I feel really confident in the material that I'm presenting. So third time's a charm. Let's do it one more time. This time, the monologue felt amazing. I found a different moment of expression within it that led to a really interesting physical cue that I liked a lot that wasn't in the earlier two takes. But on the third one, my song was not as sparkly, for lack of a better term. I came in a little too early over the track because I'm using my laptop, which is propped up on a bunch of bins that is next to the stack of bins that is the makeshift tripod for my camera, and I'm having a hard time hearing it because I am louder than the track to my own ear. And so I came in a little early, and at the end it sounded a little like I was pushing, and I just didn't like the quality of my sound. I liked the monologue, didn't like the song. So we've now done 3 takes. I said the third one was going to be the last one. I changed my mind and say, okay, we need to do one more. We need to do one more, and this has to be the last one. This is going to be the last one. It's fine. We start it, and I just have a complete brain just misfire, and we have to stop because I am also in pain today. I am having to work really hard to try and make this audition package not look like someone who's in chronic pain. And I'm also on medicine that makes me dizzy and that makes me feel like there's cotton stuck in my head, and it makes my head hurt and my neck hurt, but it makes some of the other pain go away. So I'm kind of just dealing with it, and it makes me feel loopy, and occasionally my brain will just feel like it misfires and shuts down, and that's what happened. So I take a second and I tell my partner, okay, this needs to actually be the last one because I'm struggling. So we start again. Monologue goes okay, and then I just like botched the song. I had just sung it 3 times before, but this time it just like I just botched it. Now my loving partner, of course, is like, you have sounded great every single time, and I'm like, yeah, okay, thank you, but you know, artists are very self-critical, and I could hear that my voice was starting to get tired, and I could hear that I was starting to lose it a little bit. You know, there's only I may do a separate video on this, but if you're familiar with spoon theory for folks who live with chronic pain and chronic illnesses, I only have so many spoons, and I've already used up pretty much all of them, so I'm trying to squeeze out everything that I can from that last spit of spoon in terms of energy. So take 4 I did not like. So I asked him if he's okay with just one more, because my body is starting to break down and the pain in my abdomen and in my back is starting to creep up because it's time to take more medicine. And we do one more take, and I think that take is good. The timing was off a little bit, so it might be too long, and if that's the case, I'm either gonna have to figure out how to like cut the ends just enough so it just fits, or I'm gonna have to use one of those earlier takes that had the monologue that I didn't like quite as much. And as soon as we were done, my partner says, now what would you like for dinner? Chicken and rice or chicken and pasta? And I just started crying because I don't know. It's a really hard question. So kind, and he reminded me that if I really don't like any of these takes, that like we can try again tomorrow and he'll help me again. And I just was so exhausted and even thinking about that idea, and because I don't want to have to do this again. I don't want to have to cover myself in makeup and like have to get emotionally worked up to be able to expend this kind of energy again. I'm so tired, and it just sucks because out of those 5 takes that we got, I don't know that there's one that's like really kind of representative of my skill, and it just, sucks to think that I'm gonna have to pick one of those and then send it off to this faceless jury of people, and like they have no concept of what I'm going through. They have no context for what's happening in my life, you know, and that's the same for the gajillions of other actors who are doing the same thing, right? Like I know that there are probably people who have it better than me for sure, and probably people who have it way worse than me for sure. So like obviously everybody's got their shit and everybody's got stuff going on, but it just like sucks to think that like one of these takes is the thing that could get me a job or not. And I do not feel like I actually did what I'm capable of. Like, I do not feel like I actually did, like, the Emma best. I did the I'm in chronic pain today and this is what I could get to come out of my body best, but this is so much lower than this, you know? And it's just interesting if you've never had to film yourself when you are feeling really bad, if you're really sick, and then whatever ends up being in that film is the thing that gets you employed. Like it's a very specific thing that like only actors kind of have to deal with, and I'm just really feeling the effects of how low I feel right now. So I wanted to document it and put it out there. My chronic pain has affected my ability to go to auditions before. It has shown up at unexpected times when I have been in the middle of a show before, and it has affected the way that I've been able to perform. And it just I'm just tired of it. Because it kind of makes you think, like, I wonder how great I would be. I wonder how talented or how skilled or how enigmatic I would be if I didn't have to perform while in pain. What a question, right? I don't mean that to sound vain or conceited. It's literally just the question of, like, I wonder how good this would feel. I love performing. Performing is such an amazing, electric, vibrant feeling, and it gets so clouded and it gets so overshadowed when my body just fails me, and I just wonder what like the baseline feeling of performing would be like if I could feel it without having to also be in pain and to be focusing on the pain. So I am going to get changed into some comfy pajamas and sweatpants, probably a flannel, and I am going to take off all of this and go join my partner, who is lovingly starting on dinner for the two of us, and go sit with my dogs. Thanks for watching.